open the chant so I can share it. Here we go. Narayanam namaskritya Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayam udirayet Tato jayam udirayet
Thank you, Francis. Beautiful as always. Yeah, so quickly just wanted to say that we're just going to have one last call for this year, which is going to be on 7th of December. And it's going to be at this time rather than alternating just because of commitments. So it will be at 2 till 3 Eastern, 7 to 8 UK on the 7th. And we thought we'd just make it like a kind of relaxed gathering, not going to lead anything, just, I don't know, we've maybe got an idea to come up with some Sanskrit inspired games. I don't know. We'll see. But just a relaxed sort of gathering to talk about our studies for the year and, just hang out. And then we're going to take a break until beginning of January, when we'll then continue with chapter 5 of Goldman. So, yeah, just wanted to make sure that I let everyone know that. And yeah, and just have some time off for the holidays and time to catch up with some studies, perhaps. Who knows? That was it. Francis.
And then, yeah, for class today, sorry, I feel like I forget every week, but I have until 3 or 3:15 to go over things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we just do the last 15 minutes breakout. Yeah. So, yeah,
Perfect.
unless people have
Okay, great.
questions. And yeah.
Did you have something to say, Jerry? I saw you. No? Oh,
I was
thumbs
just
up.
doing a thumbs up.
Perfect. Okay, great. All right. Well, we'll get started. Which one? Okay, it's this one. So I'll close this. Let's see where we left off. Sorry, speaking of scrolling. Okay, we left off at, we finished verbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're on nouns, the Sanskrit noun. So nouns decline in accordance with gender, number, and case. So gender, there's 3 genders: Punglinga, Strilinga, Napumsakalinga. Words must be learned with their gender. Long E and long A are always Strilinga. Adjectives agree in gender with the noun they modify. And there's just some examples here, and I just highlighted the endings that are like key tellers of the gender of the noun. So Purusha, Devi, oh, I guess I should have highlighted that one, but also a long E here, long A, and then the at the end as a clue that they are neuter nouns. These are examples that are in Goldman. So that's gender, and then we have number, and nouns are singular, dual, and plural. Number is the only category applicable to both nouns and verbs. Therefore, verbs and their subjects, objects must agree. So here are examples. Purusho gacchati, the man goes. But then we have purushao gacchataha, the two men go. This is a dual ending and a dual conjugation, of course. And then purusha gacchanti, the men go. And then we have, so that was gender, number, and then we have case or vibhakti. Cases are a series of noun modifications marked by special terminations. There are 7. He says there's 7 cases. Technically, I guess there's 8, but he doesn't consider sambodhana a proper case for whatever reason. So he says there's 7. We have pratama, prathama vibhakti as a nominative, naming subject or direct object. And then we have dvitiya vibhakti as accusative or direct object. We have tritiya vibhakti as instrumental, agentive, or subject. And these like 2 things is because sometimes the sentence will be in passive voice. And we learn that later on. Chaturthi vibhakti as dative or indirect object. Oh yeah, sorry, with the instrumental, it's used with by or with, and then in the 4th case with a dative to or for. Panchami vibhakti is ablative, source, so from. Shashti, the 6th case, genitive, possessive, and the use of. And then saptami, locative, in or on. And then we have sambodhana. I guess you could say it's not really a case because it doesn't have vibhakti after it. But it's an 8th declension, or it has its own declension row, which only differs in 1, really. But anyhow, it's address, vocative, direct address. So speaking directly to someone. And these are examples. Dasharathasya vachanam shrutva nagaran nihsritya lakshmanena saheha gatya dharmaya vane vasati ramaha. And next to him, next to each noun, he put the case. Having heard Dasharatha's speech, having come out of the city, and having come here with Lakshma, it should just be Lakshmana in the translation. Lakshmana, or Lakshman, anyhow, Rama lives in the forest for the sake of righteousness. And then an example of, so this was an example just showing all the cases, and this is an example of the vocative case. The Hare Krishna, the Maha Mantra chant directed directly to Krishna, and depending how you interpret it, also Radha. Okay, and then we get into noun citation. We learn nouns in their nominative singular form, so the first case, so as to learn the gender at the same time. So just recommending this, and also the way nouns get cited is sometimes in their first case. So we cite Purusha as Purushaha, the nominative nominative singular masculine form, and then, well, of course it's masculine, but the nominative singular form, and then Pustaka as Pustakam as nominative singular, and then by the ending, we know that it's neuter. Nouns ending in other vowels, particularly r, and in consonants, should be learned both in stem, pre-declensional form, which I learned is called the pratipadika, and in nominative singular. So both in its form prior to adding the declensions and in its nominative singular form. My goodness, nominative is a difficult word to pronounce. So we have pitra, and its nominative singular is pita. This means father. Rajan and Raja, that's a king. Brahman, and then the nominative, so depending on which you're referring to, a Brahman, which would be Brahma. Ooh, this shouldn't be a long A here, it should be short A. Brahma, for Brahman, or Brahma, which is the god of creation. Yeah, one's neuter and one's masculine. The declension of the A stems. So there were 2 declensions that I included in there. Purusha, which I put in a table here, and Pustakam. And they highlighted these first Two, because these are the only two in which they differ from each other. And then this one down here in the vocative singular is the only one that differs from the first line in each. So otherwise, the nominative, and the sampodhana would be the same, but for this one, where it's just the ending for both. Let me say this down here. Masculine and neuter stems differ only in first and second case, and the sambodhana differs from the first case only in the singular. So that's what I just pointed out. That's what's highlighted at the top. Parts of speech, the kriyapada and the kartra. A finite verbal form. Sorry, I just realized this is really small now. I had zoomed out so you could see the full declension. I'm going to go through all of this because there's kind of a lot of notes, but if we have time, I'd like to chant declensions together. That would be fun. So parts of speech, the kriyapada and the kartra, a finite verbal form is the heart of and the minimal requirement for a grammatical Sanskrit sentence. The verbal form is called kriyapada, action word, expressive of the action or state indicated by a given verbal root, dhatu. There's normally only one finite verb in a clause. Kartra is the agent or subject, person, place, thing, I said place twice, person, place, thing, or abstract concept, carries out the action or experiences the state or condition expressed by the dhatu. All grammatical sentences must have a finite verb or equivalent and a nominal subject, whether or not the words for those actually appear in the sentence. The kartra of the sentence is always the agent of the action, regardless of active or passive sentence. So examples of that, we have Rama pashyati. Rama is the kartra, sees. The dog bites the man, or the man is bitten by the dog. The dog is the kartra in both cases. So the dog bites the man is active, the man is bitten by the dog is passive, but in both cases, the dog is still the one doing the action. So he's still the kartra. Parts of speech continued. Sakarmika with object and akarmika without object, dhatus, verbal roots, and the karman, direct objects. This is from Alice's notes. Don't learn this. This will pop up later, says Professor Bryant. But basically, verbs of motion, a verb that takes me from one place to another, go, walk, run, swim. Take the dvitiya, accusative case. That's it. So that's kind of the short version. I still put little extra notes there. That Sanskrit root is sakarmika, transitive with direct object, or a Sanskrit root is akarmika, intransitive without direct object. Recipient of the force of an action is the karman, direct object. So just explaining what each of these terms means. The cases and their functions. Each case does not only have one function, some have several. Sanskrit has numerous examples of loose construction. A case may be forced to serve another function, especially true in the epics. So significant alternate uses. The pratama vibhakti, the nominative case, used in a variety of functions under the heading of naming, must be in number agreement with the finite verb, whether it appears or is understood in the phrase. And this full application in lesson 9, where we learn passive and active voice, is used to denote the subject of a finite verb in a clause or a sentence. It may also be used as the citation case for a noun, which we talked about earlier, how you cite a noun. In first case. So examples, Purusho gachati, the man goes, Purushao gachataha, the two men go, and Purusha gachanti, the men go. So the person agreeing with the conjugation. Second case, dvitiya vibhakti is the accusative case, the direct object of a transitive verb, or the goal of a verb of motion. So we have Purusho Mrigam Hanti, The man kills the deer, direct object. Brahmana pustakani pashyanti. The Brahmins see the books. And then we also have Ramo vanam gachati. Rama goes to the forest. The 438. I'm not sure what this reference is. Here, let me. Oh, maybe that just goes for the next line. Oh no, it says it refers back to 438, where there was mention of it being used for verbs of motion in that point. May also be used with words meaning units of time to indicate duration. So Rama samvatsaram vane vasati. Rama lives in the forest for a year, and may also be used adverbially, resulting in avyaya-padas or indeclinables. So examples of that: Asti nripo Dasharatho nama. There is a king by name Dasharatha. Or Dasharatha sukham jivati. Dasharatha lives happily. So in this case, it's not modifying an object, it's modifying the verb. So that makes it an adverb in this case. And then we have Tritiya Vibhakti, the instrumental case, which can represent agency or accompaniment. Sharena Hanti Balakam, he kills the boy with an arrow. Or when accompaniment is meant, the instrumental is frequently followed by one of three avyaya words. Saha, samam, or sakam. So Dasharatena saha samvadati brahmanaha. The Brahman converses with Dasharatha. Agent, or okay, so that's the first, agency or accompaniment, or the agent or subject case in a karmani prayoga construction. So again, talking about passive versus active voice. This would be the subject in a passive, agent or subject case in the karmani. Yeah, this would be in the passive construction. We learned that in lesson 9. Okay, and then idiomatic usages with avyaya vina, also with accusative and ablative. So the second, third, or fifth case can be used with this avyaya vina in the sense of without or excluding. Here the example, balakena vina vanam brahmanaha. The Brahman goes to the forest without the boy. With alam, also enough or sufficient in the sense of enough of whatever it may be. Alam anena vachanena, enough of this talk. And then also with the interrogative pronoun kim in the sense of what of it, signifying lack of interest or belief in the relevance or use of something. And the example is kim anena pustakena. What is the use of this book? And then I also added, these are in chapter 5, but I thought it'd be nice to just have all of the cases together. So the dative case is addressed in lesson 5, but I put it here. It is an indirect object, or expresses relations of to and for, and is regularly used in the sense of for the purpose of. So yudhaya gacham iti barnati viraha. The hero says, I come for battle, for the purpose of. Dvijo bharyayai sarvam dadati vanam chagachati. The Brahman gives everything to his wife and goes to the forest. Also used with objects of reverence. Namas, example, Om Ramaya Namaha. Om, reverence to Rama. That was the dative case, yeah. And we move on to the ablative case, the fifth case, which is origin or source. Sangat samjayate kama kamat krodho bhijayate. Desire arrives from attachment, or anger springs from desire. Or nagarad vanam gachati kumaraha. The boy goes to the forest from the city. And Professor Bryant said that this is usually when people are going to the forest. It's usually to renounce. and, become a yogi. So the next is objects of fear. We have it as an example, Rakshasan na bibheti Ramaha. Rama does not fear the demon. Here we have this example of the visarga becoming the nasal of the following, because of the following word, and I referenced the sandhi there, if you want to look that up. And this is kind of a habit I got into in general when I noticed sandhis in examples to reinforce the sandhi chapter. Like the Dvitiya Vibhakti and the Tritiya Vibhakti can be used with Vina in the sense of without. Ramad Vina Kvayodhya. Where is Ayodhya without Rama? And there doesn't seem to be a clear reason why you would use which case, at least that I know of, with Vina. They just all can be used with Vina, I believe. And then we're on to Shashti Vibhakti, the genitive case, genitive or possessive case, generally relates one noun to another. Brahmanasya putra, the son of the Brahman. Brahmanasya putrasya mitram, the friend of the son of the Brahman. It's commonly used with the verb to be to indicate possession, because Sanskrit has no verb equivalent to have. So the possessor is put in the genitive and the thing possessed in the nominative. So Brahmanasya putro nasti, the Brahman has no son, but literally translated is of the Brahman son there is not. And it, if you were to translate it in a way that for it to make more sense or to flow better, it would be the Brahman has no son. And similarly, Dasharathasya dve pustake, the staha is understood. You wouldn't have to put it. Dasharatha has two books. Literally, of Dasharatha, two books there are. Then we have Saptami, the locative case, so location, on or in. Vrikshe vasati dvijaha, the bird lives in the tree. Ayodhyayam vasati dasharatha, Dasharatha lives in Ayodhya. Devesh vapi ramasya tulio nasti. This is a good example of the aha becoming o, and then because there is a following voiced letter. Rama has no equal even among the gods. Or it can be used in reference to something. Brahmanasya hanane prayashchittam nasti. With respect to the murder of a Brahman, there is no expiation or atonement. Or with objects of love, attachment, or devotion. Radhayam snihyati Shri Krishna. Krishna loves Radha. Dharme rato nripaha, the king is devoted to dharma. Kameshu sangat krodha upajayate, anger arises out of attachment to objects of desire. Another Santi reference here. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to be good for time. Okay, word order. Due to the case endings precisely specifying the relationships of all parts of speech, no need for a rigid word order like for other languages like English or French or German, whatever language, other languages where word order is important. However, the general rule is subject, object, verb, and the other parts of speech are inserted within this framework. All modifiers of a given noun should be, it says contiguous in the book, but just neighboring each other, essentially. They should just group together if they're modifying the same thing. Then we get to personal pronouns, sarvanamans. The pronouns of the first two persons are addressed in this lesson. So Uttama Purusha for I and Madhyama Purusha for you. And they're both similar in not distinguishing gender because you're talking about yourself or talking to someone directly. It doesn't have a feminine, masculine, or neuter for these two particular pronouns. And I put the declension charts in there for both of those and highlighted the ones that have shortened versions. And I think we'll have time to chant these together afterwards. We can go through each of those individually. So the shorter forms in parentheses are equivalent but subordinate. So they never occur at the beginning of a sentence or in a position of great emphasis. Let me give some examples here. Tava dasoham, I am your servant. Vayam najanimaha, we don't know. Note that vayam here is not needed for the sentence as it is understood by the conjugation of the verb. Pustakam na parthati, he reads our book. Note here the shorter version of asman. So for our, if we look up here, our book would have been this, but instead it's na, the shorter version, and it is in the middle of the sentence and not of particular importance for emphasis. And then Mama Bharya Gramam Gachati. My wife is going to the village. These are, oh, and to note that these are declined pronouns and not adjectives. Yeah, so there's no issue of agreements. They don't need to agree with the objects that they're modifying. Keep this in mind, especially with regard to the Shashti Vibhakti. So we have Mama Putraha, my son, Mama Bharya, my wife, Mama Pustakam, my book. This is all Mama, regardless, doesn't take on. And anyways, Mama wouldn't be a gendered form. Particles. Oh, and this is the end. Great. And I just jogged through this. Particles, nipata, we had sma. So when appearing after a verb, a verb conjugated in the present indicative, lat form, it makes of the form a simple past tense. So you could say gachati for he goes, or if you put gachati sma, it becomes he went, just by adding that particle. And then iti, the most useful or important of particles, functions frequently as a quotation mark immediately after speech, thought, or an idea quoted. So everything prior to the iti is in quotations, yeah. And if I see an iti in a sentence, use it as an opportunity to break the sentence into smaller or more manageable units. So like, okay, here where it says iti, that little piece kind of stands on its own. So you can translate that part first, separate from the rest of the sentence. Nripoham iti vadati. He says, I am the king. Yeah, and that's that whole chapter. Do we have any questions before we do some chanting? Paolo.
No, just a brief comment about the Vibhakti classification. I think it would be good to have a look at the Vibhaktis together with the theory of Karaka, because then you can see which isn't treated by Goldman, but is quite a good. I mean, sometimes I think there is something in the summary that you made that is really great. That refers to that. For example, the very fact that the genitive is not is well, of course the vocative isn't really a case, because it doesn't. It is just a way of addressing to somebody, and the genitive is also not related to the kriya, to the verb. So directly, it just relates. It's a some how do you call it? I can't think of the term now. But anyway, it expresses a relationship to another name, to another not name, namapada. So it doesn't actually connect directly with the verb. So yes, the theory of Karaka perhaps it's something that we should look at, but it will be done perhaps in our going further thing.
Yeah, could you remind me? I remember my teacher talking about karikas last class, but
Yeah,
could you remind me really quickly what that term is referring to?
karaka is basically it gives it kind of it doesn't it's there are six karakas
Hmm.
and they are related to six cases, but they don't map exactly onto them. So there is a kind of prototypical karaka, but then there are variations, and that's where, for
Okay.
example, the so it's broader definition in terms of semantics, in terms of the meaning of the verb. Depending on the meaning of the verb, certain characters would be used. Um, let me think of an example that could be a bit more clear, a bit clearer. Um,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
well,
Because
for
I know my
example, yes,
teachers, yes, go ahead.
for example, there was um, a sub case of the um, ablative, the fifth case,
Hmm.
okay, that is linked to um, uh, what is it called? Apadan, I think. Oh, no, I can't remember the term. But anyway, the term means. Is it called? I can't remember. Anyway, it's gone now. But it means the the provenance, the origin, the
Mm,
source.
yeah.
So so and equally the I think it's called adhikarana is the sixth the sorry the locative, okay, the seventh case, and that is, for example, it's the definition is the substratum. Now that is a bit of a funny word, but it means basically the domain.
Mm,
So it could be a place, it could be time, but it could be also um, the topic,
yeah.
right? So it's got a number of different. There are definitions that are a bit broader
Right.
rather than coinciding exactly with the case and with the proposition, because the temptation is to start with, just to connect to the case to just one proposition and that's it.
Yeah.
But in fact, it's much broader than that.
Yeah.
That's
And do you
where the
think so?
character
So some
theory
of,
is quite important.
yeah. So some of the examples that Goldman provides, but
They
there are like
kind of
more
touch on it, but they
kind of touch
don't
on it.
really explain it.
Okay.
Because there are these concepts that I can't remember now. But yes, I mean these basic concepts, like um, well, Karana would be for the instrument, so it would
Hmm.
be then translated into a third case. Okay, but or yeah, adhikarana is the seventh, so it's the domain, or
I
is it
got it.
the other one? Sorry, no, I think it's the provenance, adhikarana.
Okay.
I can't
So
remember which is root enough.
I think it's a good, definitely a great point to bring up generally because for people that end up going further and further into their studies, that it not be this like this one fixed thing, but for the perfect purposes of right now, and he does, like you said, he like touches on it, like grazes it a little
Yes,
bit, and gives a couple of examples. But as you say, it takes more, it takes broader, has broader
yeah,
effects. So
Yeah,
just something to be aware of. I know my teacher talked about katakas last time we had a class, so I'll like maybe that's something we could clarify and
yes. I mean, we
discuss a
could do
little
a
bit.
little bit perhaps in your sessions,
May,
and then
may,
Mm,
it could be
yeah, yeah.
something
But I
could
more
even
think,
be
with the
worth just
other sessions.
sorry, Alice.
adding the
Sorry.
explanation in. Well, because I'm going to send these notes out now that this is the
Yeah,
second part of lesson 4. Maybe we can just add in a little something more about Caracas in there.
yeah, for sure.
Just,
If you want
mm,
me to yeah, briefly perhaps
Yeah,
summarize it,
send me
I
something,
could send.
Paulo, and
Yeah,
we'll put
okay,
a little extra note in there. Lulu,
yeah.
thank you.
yeah.
Hiya. I had a quick question on 4.46, the personal pronoun. Um, the dvivachana, does that translate to you and I?
Oh yeah, it's kind of a strange. Hang on, let's go. Let's get to that.
Or
Good
is it just
question.
not really used? Because I would understand
Yeah,
that the Bahu is
true.
like we a a group.
Yep.
So I mean I just I for some reason I want to translate it into English in my brain.
No, that's fair. I haven't thought about it. Yeah, it's a kind of a strange, like, both
Or
of me.
me and another person, like yeah, Rama and I, yes, I guess would be how it would be used.
Yeah, but and then how, and the dual, yeah, but then the dual for, yes, that would be you too. I guess
The two of
so. I
us. The
haven't,
two of
the
us.
two of us. Oh,
Two of
perfect.
us.
Thanks. Thanks, Tim.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, all right, thank you.
The two of me. The two of us, definitely. Thank you. That does make sense. Okay, I think we could do some chanting. I think that would be nice.
Francis, could I just ask one quick question?
Oh, please, yes.
Yeah, sorry. Just going back to the instrumental, the thirds,
Yeah.
and the use of saha.
Hmm.
Is that it's a kind of optional thing to use saha? So if one didn't use saha in the example given there,
Yeah.
dasharate na saha, one could do without the saha, and the meaning would be the same.
Yeah.
Is that correct, or am I?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. It's an option.
It's an
Unlike
option, yeah.
vina, which is without. Obviously, you need that to get the sense of without, but you don't need the saha to get the sense of with.
With. Yeah, I guess you would put it. This is speculation. Maybe someone will tell me if this makes sense. But maybe you put it if there's like another instrumental in there just to make it clear, and you put those closer together, like two people. You put with, and I'm trying to think of like a sentence construction where you may have another instrumental. It might not be clear that that means with that person. But my quick answer is yeah, it doesn't need to be in there. Tim, did you have something that
No, I
you
was
wanted
just
to
gonna
say?
say you saw how the accompaniment, right?
Hmm.
Like if me and Francis are going, we're going to the store, you know, with something, how the instrument would be the what with what we're doing, but the saha means an accompaniment.
Yeah. But is it necessary is his question, is Jerry's
No,
question.
if
No.
it's meaningful, right? If it, cut with a knife, you don't have to say saha knife. You can say,
Right.
yeah, chidena.
Hmm.
All
Okay. Thank
right.
you.
Thank you for these wonderful questions. So what I like about when we get to chant paradigms is, well, you guys get to talk. It doesn't have to be me the whole time. So I could do the first line, and then we can kind of pass it around the group. So we'll do Purusha. Purusha, Purushao, Purusha, Purusha, Purushao, Purusha. Would like to respond. I'm gonna have to call on someone.
I'll do it.
All right, Alice.
Purusha, 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 Purusha.
Now you can do the second line and call on someone else.
Okay. Purusham, Purushao, Purusham, Purusham, Purushao, Purushan. Who would like to go?
Purusham, Purushao, Purushan, Purusham, Purushao, Purushan.
Maybe you can continue, Paolo, if you like.
Oh, sorry.
We
Yes.
can do like a kind of.
Yes, it makes sense. So to chain
It's a
the whole
hot
thing.
potato. Yeah, you do the next one.
Purushena Purushabhyam Purushaihi Purushena Purushabhyam Purushaihi.
You get to pick the next person.
If no one puts their hands up willingly, we just have to choose.
Oh,
But
do
of
I
course
have
you
to
can
choose?
say,
Oh, I don't know who is there.
Jerry's
Because
Jerry's put
my
his hand up.
thing
Jerry
is
is going to.
screen.
You're on mute, Jerry. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Purushena, Purushabhyam, Purushai. Purushena, Purushabhyam, Purushai.
You can do the next line.
Purushaya, Purushabhyam, Purushebhya. Purushaya, Purushabhyam, Purushebhya.
Okay, I'm looking at you. Who's raising their hand to repeat? I saw you before, Sylvia. There we go. Okay, go ahead, Sylvia.
Purushat Purushabhyam Purushebhyah
Oh, sorry.
Purushat.
Pause. You're going to repeat Jerry's,
Oh,
the
sorry.
fourth, and then that's okay. And then but you will do the fifth afterwards. Go ahead.
Purushaya Purushabhyam Purushebhyah Purushaya Purushabhyam Purushebhyah Purushat Purushabhyam Purushebhyah Purushat Purushabhyam Purushebhyah.
Anybody else feeling like they want to have a go?
Tara.
Purushat Purushabhyam Purushebhyah Purushat Purushabhyam Purashebhyah Purushasya Purushayo Purushanam Purushasya Purushayo Purushanam. I can't see who has hands up, if anybody.
Sky.
Ooh, okay. Is it Purushaya? No, it's the next one. Yeah?
Yeah.
Purushasya.
Tablet.
Purushasya,
Oh,
Sayoho.
sorry. It's the fifth case. Fifth case. You were right.
Punch. Okay. Purushabhyam, Purushebhyaha, Purushabhyam, Purushebhyaha. And then I'll do the Shasti. Purushasya Purushayoho Purushanam Purushasya Purushayo Purushanam.
I'm just calling people now. Tim.
Purushaya, Purushaya ho, Purushaya nam. You may say it again? I can't see the one on the leaf. There you go. Thank you. Purushe, Purushaya ho, Purushe su.
Talissa.
That's a no, maybe. I don't know.
No? Oh, you're having problems. She's having problems. Okay. Try to figure out. Oh, we have Premi Bhakta Dasa who would like to go, I believe. Hand up.
All right, are we doing Saptami?
You're doing Saptami, and then you'll do Sambodhana, and we'll pass it on to someone else. So yeah.
All right. Purushe Purushayo Purusheshu Purushe Purushayo Purusheshu Purusha Purushao Purusha Purusha Purushao Purusha.
Elizabeth. Are you going, Elizabeth? Because you're muted.
I'm sorry. Can I pass?
Sure. Anybody
I'll
else
do
would
it.
like to go? Oh,
I'll do
Sky.
it.
Okay.
Purusha, Purushao, Purushaha, Purusha, Purushao, Purushaha.
Wonderful. Okay. Let's see. Who would like to start or do we start here? We start with Sky for the neuter one. So we're
Okay.
doing, yeah, because you did a response. You can do a call now.
Pustakam, pustake, pustakani, pustakam, pustake, pustakani. And Lulu, can Lulu go?
Pustakam, pustake, pustakani. Pustakam, pustake, pustakani. Pustakam, pustake, pustakani. Pustakam, pustake, pustakani.
We haven't heard from Matthew.
All right. Pustakam, pustake, pustakani. Pustakam, pustake, pustakani. Pustakena, pustakabhyam, pustakaihi. Pustakena, pustakabhyam, pustakaihi.
Shall I go again? I'll go again if you want. Pustakena, pustakabhyam, pustakai. Pustakena, pustakabhyam, pustakai. Pustakaya, pustakabhyam, pustakebhyah. Pustakaya, pustakabhyam, pustakebhyah. I don't like to choose anyone. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you want to unmute yourself, just go for it.
Pustakaya, pustakabhyam, pustakebhyah. Pustakaya, pustakabhyam, pustakebhyah. Pustakat, pustakabhyam, pustakebhyah. Pustakat, pustakabhyam, pustakebhyah.
Pustakat, pustakabhyam, pustakebhyah. Pustakat, pustakabhyam, pustakebhyah. Pustakasya, pustakayo, pustakanam. Pustakasya, pustakayo, pustakanam.
Pustake pustakayoho pustakeshu. Pustake pustakayoho pustakeshu. Pustaka pustake pustakani. Pustaka pustake pustakani.
Pustaka, pustake, pustakani. Pustaka, pustake, pustakani.
Hey. All right. Excellent. Thank you so much. So good to have so many gentlemen joining in. It's nice. All right, we have our pronouns, and then we can go into some translation.
Can I just add, because I've now got my page where I've got all the names, so I can now remember what I meant to say. For example, going back to the karaka, I mean, for example, you said that vina could be used not only like saha with the instrumental case, but also with the pancha, panchami.
With Dvitiya and Panchami, yeah.
Yeah. And that would be explained by this karaka idea, apadana, because it's detachment, its source origin is something that you detach from. So because you are without someone, you are detached. So does that give you an idea of the how these karaka works? Perhaps a little bit better, I hope. But I mean, the very idea of karta or karta and karma that actually Goldman speaks of are karakas. Okay, kartar, karma, karana, instrument, and then sampradana, which is the recipient, and then the source of the origin, apadana, and then the adhikarana. And for example, the adhikarana would also explain, in a sense, the verbs of fear and love in a certain domain. So it's actually it covers that idea. But no, sorry, fear is again apadana, isn't it? Because it's a kind of, you detached from what you fear. I mean, to me, it's very helpful, this whole conceptual semantic aspect.
Yeah, it's a different way, a broader way of classifying things.
Yeah.
So that it encompasses more what the diverse roles of each
yes,
case
because it's linked to the verb meaning. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, that's
Excellent.
it. Just close.
I can see Cara's hand up. Cara,
yes, Cara.
I just had a question about that, Paolo. Did you say, or did you guys say that the detachment could be fifth or second case, or the vina?
No, detachment.
Second, third, or fifth.
Apadana is to do with detachment. So in that sense, it could mean origin. If you come from somewhere, you are actually going away from it. But also it covers the idea of fear, because you are repulsed by something.
And so for the second case, would it be the idea of like the being the recipient of the action, like a direct object in a way? Like
The recipient
of being detached?
is the fourth.
Okay.
It's the fourth.
Okay.
is the person that actually is that benefits.
Okay. I was just trying to understand the second case.
No, the second would be either the goal. It's actually described as the most desired thing because it's the goal of the action.
Okay.
And in that respect, it covers also the movement to a place because you want to go there.
Prem, you wanted to add something to that?
Yeah, I had a question here. We just went through this very nice exercise of reciting all these different cases or vibhaktis. I'm kind of new to taking formal classes like this. Would it be useful, or I guess I'm asking, is it the standard practice to memorize these cases by memorizing them or by reciting them?
Yes, this is how I
Is that a
was
standard
taught.
practice of just
Yeah.
reciting them?
So this is how I was taught from my teachers, and I think Professor Bryant has maybe a slightly different melody, but he also has a melody that he chants for these to remember these cases. And yeah, so it's often the way that these different paradigms are learned is through chanting.
Oh, okay, because I'm thinking I should think of myself as a 5-year-old boy in class and having to recite all the conjugations of the verbs or whatever.
It's kind of a good attitude to have in learning any language. You're basically a 5-year-old child. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll work on it. Thank you.
No problem. Who would like to lead us off? Well, who ended the last one? Was it Sylvia? Oh, Jerry, did you have a question?
No, I finished the
Oh, you finished off. Okay, great.
the vocative at the end of the last one. Yeah.
You could start us off for aham.
Aham avam vayam. Aham avam vayam.
I'll go. Aham avam vayam. Aham avam vayam. Mam ma avam asman naha. Mam na avam asman naha. Ready?
Mama avam asman naha. Mama avam asman naha. Maya avibyam asmabihi. Maya avyam asmabihi.
Maya avabhyam asmabihi. Maya avabhyam asmabihi. Mayam me avabhyam asmabhyam naha. Mayam me avabhyam asmabhyam naha.
Mahyam me avabhyam asmabhyam naha. Mahyam me avabhyam asmabhyam naha. Mat avabhyam asmat. Mat avyabhyam asmat.
Mad avabyam asmat. Mad avabhyam asmat. Mama me avyoho asmakam naha. Mama me avayoho asmakam naha.
Mama me avayoho asmakam naha. Mama me avayoho asmakam naha. Mai avayoho asmasu. Mai avayoho asmasu.
Mayi avayo asmasu. Mayi avayo asmasu.
You want to start off the next one?
Okay, this would be starting with Twam. Yeah. Tvam yu vam yu yam. Tvam yu vam yu yam.
Tvam. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, now which line? I'm sorry. Tvam yuvam yushman. Tvaya.
You'll do the first line. You'll do
Oh,
the first
sorry.
line again. That's okay.
Okay.
You're responding, and then you can be the caller for the second line. That's perfect. Go ahead.
Yes. Tvam yuvam yuyam. Tvam yuvam yushman. And tva and vaha. Sorry. Oh, again? No, that was it.
No. So it was meant to be the first line. So tvam yu vam yu yam.
Yes,
Tvam yu vam yu yam. And then the second, and then you would go for the second line, and then someone would respond to you. So you can do this next one.
Tvam yuvam yushman. Tvam yuvam yushman.
Tvam tva yuvam yushman yushman vaha. Tvam tva yuvam yushman vaha. Tvaya yuvapyam yushmabi. Tvaya yuvapyam yushmabi.
Tvaya yuvapyam yushmabihi. Tvaya yuvapyam yushmabihi. Tupyam te yuvapyam yushmapyam vaha. Tupyam te yuvapyam yushmapyam vaha.
I'll go again.
Tupyam te yuvabhyam yushmabhyam vaha. Tupyam te yuvabhyam yushmabhyam vaha. Tvat yuvabhyam yushmat. Tvat yuvabhyam yushmat.
Dvat yushvabhyam yushmat. Dvat yuvyabhyam yushmat. Tavate yuvayoho. Yushmakam vahe tavete yuvayoho yushmakam vahe.
Tavate yuvayoho Yushmakam vaha tavate yuvayoho yushmakam vaha tvayi yuvayoho yushmasu tvayi yuvayoho yushmasu.
Is there another one underneath, Francis? What was that?
That's the last line, but someone needs to respond.
We did. We already did it.
Oh, did nobody respond to the last one?
I don't
Maybe
think
that
anyone
was it.
responded to the last one.
Oh, so like that. Sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
Have
You can go, Alice.
Tvavi yuvayoho yushmasu. Tvavi yuvayoho yushmasu.
Excellent.
Thanks everyone for being game and having a bash.
Yeah, it's good practice. I think we have time for one sentence. I believe we did two last week, if I'm not mistaken. Do you remember, Alice?
I can't remember, but yeah, I mean, if you want to just do, because if we break out a quarter, or you can break out for longer, whatever you think, it's probably good to do a sentence.
I think one sentence. We should do one sentence. Good. Let's see. Oh, gotta watch my writing here for this letter in particular. How does that look, Eleonora? Is that good?
Well, it's good that you remember.
All this stuff here. Ooh, no, this isn't long. It's short. Here. Whew. Okay. Let's see. Who can read the first word?
Nripasya.
Nripasya. Excellent. Nripasya. What's the next word? Get my harmonium out of the way. Nripasya.
Duhkam.
Duhkam. Duhkam. Nripasya. Duhkam. Oh, sorry. Is that what you mean? I don't know who spoke up. The next word?
Na.
Na. Sti. Ti. Nastiti.
Bashanti.
Pa.
Shante.
Shante.
Jana.
Jana. Jana. Long ah. All right. So now we've done our cases. So we can tell by this ending that this is in which case?
Genitive.
Genitive. It's the sixth. This. Can we tell what this case is?
The
Could be accusative.
Accusative.
Accusative or nominative.
Could be accusative or nominative because is it a neuter noun? I'm not sure off the top. I think it is, right? It's dukam, neuter.
Yeah.
So it could be first or it could be second, right? Well, it could be one of those. This is a sandhi that happened. Well, this is a sandhi technically here that made this anusvara. This is sandhi 349. This is a sandhi here for, if we to a break, well, there's two sandhis.
Astiti.
Na, asti,
Asti, iti.
asti, iti, exactly. So we have na for not. We have asti, which is which verb? And then what conjugation? As.
To be.
To be.
It's to the verb to be, as, and which conjugation?
Third singular.
Third person singular or pratama purusha ekavachana. And we learned about this word particle. What does it mean?
It means
somebody said that.
Quotation.
There's a quotation.
To set off something, somebody saying something.
Exactly. So this whole first part is somebody speaking. So we know what nripa means. King. So this would be of king, right? Then we have dukam. What do we know what dukam means?
Sukha dukam.
Unhappiness.
Suffering.
Yeah, unhappiness or sorrow, something like this. Suffering, yes. So how could we translate this quotation? I'm going to look at my...
Someone says the king doesn't have any sorrow.
The king doesn't have any sorrow. Can you see that? So, because we were talking about the genitive being used with the verb to be as possession, right? And this is a negation. So if you were to translate it directly, who was it that answered? Was it Paolo?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be
the suffering of the king.
Of the king, sorrow there is not. Right? There isn't. But more like in a sensical way of translating the sentence, it would be the king has no sorrow. So the king has no sorrow, and who is saying that? So that's in parentheses. The king has no sorrow, but then we have bhashante janaha.
The people say.
The king, great, has no sorrow would go in quotations. You could say the people say, or said the people, right? We'll put the people. The people, so that's janah. So this is in its, which declension is this?
Plural form.
Nominative.
Nominative. Plural. So then this, this conjugation is in pratama, purusha, bahu, vachana, right? So third person, plural. The king has no sorrow, the people say.
Atmanepada.
Thank you. Who said that? Para. It is an atmanepada. How do I know this is an atmanepada?
Because of that E ending, A ending, Te.
The te ending. If it had been a parasmaipada, it would have ended in?
E, T.
E, anti. But we have ante instead of anti for this third person plural conjugation. Excellent. Well, I think
I was just suggest as well for the breakout. I know a lot of the people here are already in small group study groups for the, doing the verses from the Bhagavad Gita. And I know Lulu mentioned this in class on Friday. But if you're in a breakout room with someone who's not, maybe we can share how it's going for us and how useful it is to be in a small study group, and just trying to encourage you know, that everybody is encouraged to maybe prepare a verse or even get together, even if you don't want to present, and just have that kind of regular support of a small group, and that focus of preparing a verse. So yeah, just thought we could talk about that. You can talk about anything, of course, but maybe that's something to discuss. Okay. Go for it.